beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of Getting On Podcast. It's a podcast where we talk about mental health, the trial, tribulations, and trauma, but also the art of healing. I'm Ivory, I'm your host, and I am back. Yes, I'm back, guys. Listen, I'm back behind the mic. Your boy is back. Thank you guys so much so far that who has been watching the podcast since it's been, a couple months, your boy had to take care of some stuff, but you know what? I'm excited to be back, and it's so weird that as I've been doing this podcast, even without podcasting for a while, every single week I've had someone in my life ask me when's a new podcast coming out? When's a new episode coming out? And I'm not going to hold you because I knew in the beginning of 2026, I was going to take a quick hiatus from the podcast, but I didn't expect people to really enjoy this podcast, to actually resonate with the conversations, because I don't really consider this podcast like interview style, even though it is like an interview style kind of podcast, it's really just conversations with people. So for me, it started making me realize wow, the impact that I'm having with this podcast, and it really feels good, So I want to really thank everybody that's been watching and really tuning in and supporting, because again, I could just have a microphone and have a camera, but to say the things that I'm saying and for people to resonate with what I'm saying, it does make me feel good that I'm not the only one, So I want to just say thank you guys who have been tuning into Getting Older, and I'm excited to, continue with the series, okay? Now, before we jump into this episode, you can get an older style. I got to keep it real. I was supposed to have a guest on today, but, life happens, and instead of rescheduling and, trying to find, a guest last minute, I figure, you know what? I haven't been, podcasting in the last couple of months, why not do a one-on-one? Let's keep it real. Let's have a catch up, I'll say, okay? So, obviously, we're in the new year. We just finished the first quarter of 2026. And I gotta tell you, I'm having a really good 2026 so far. And it's been really magical and really just different, I have to say. A lot of growth, I'll say, that's been happening thus far. Let me explain. So, January of 29th, that's my birthday. And I turned 29 on the 29th. Which is my golden year, my golden birthday. Now, I gotta tell you, one thing about me is that I'm not a fan of birthdays. I'm gonna be real. I just don't like birthdays. I think that, you know what it is? I'm a twin. So growing up as a twin, I have a sister, and you grow up, you're sharing the same birthday with somebody. So for me, as a child, I'm so used to sharing a birthday. And I'm kind of one of those people that's go with the flow, you want this? Fine. You want that? Fine. It didn't really matter to me, But as I got older, I think when it came to birthdays, it's obviously we separated, she had her people, I had my people. But a lot of times with birthdays, it just kind of felt like I'm trying to force something. I want to make sure this is going right, but it never goes right or the way I expected it to be, So for a while, it's just been I don't know, I kind of been self-sabotaging myself a lot of these birthdays, especially in my 20s too. I just felt like I just wasn't really I guess happy at that time to enjoy another year, So when it was the day of my birthday, I remember just sitting there and, I'm gonna be real with you, I was a little sad because I felt like I was doing the thing that I've always done to myself is self-sabotage myself. I think that a lot of times birthdays give me anxiety because sometimes I kind of wonder wow, I really got another year. How do I want to make this year for myself? I think that's something where it's you want to outdo each year you're doing. And especially this being my golden year, it's how can I make this my best year? But, again, with just the crippling anxieties that I'm having, I just really just stayed home. I stayed in my bed on my birthday. And I realized I was just doing a disservice to myself at that moment. But also I'm receiving love and everything, but it just wasn't enough. I just felt why am I feeling like this, So, this is what happens when you have great friends. I want to shout out to my friend Brandon because on that birthday, he called me. He said, hey, man, I want to take you out and stuff like that. So we went to hibachi, and it was funny because it was everybody at the table at a hibachi place were all celebrating our birthdays all together. And it was a really fun time. Like I said, I haven't had hibachi since I was in high school. So it was one of those moments where I got to really enjoy it and get a surprise cake. Shout out to my boy for that as well. And I don't know, I just felt like I was excited. It was one of those moments where I was out and, we were just around so many different people who were celebrating our birthdays together as well. And it was a good feeling to realize, like, damn, like, this is your golden year. Like, what are you doing feeling sad about getting older? You know, like, embrace it, love it. This is your year. Shout out to my friend Sky. She took me out to karaoke that weekend, and then shout out to my boy Steven, took me to Top Golf. So it was like at the same time, it was still a great weekend. And I really want to just like thank all of you guys that made my birthday happen. After my birthday, I went to the Philippines. Yes, I went to the Philippines. I was in the Philippines for 9 days. I was in Manila, Boracay, and BGC. Okay. So you're wondering, like, why are you in the Philippines? So I first want to say thank you and shout out to my girl Jem and her now husband Calvin, because they got married in Boracay Island. And I was honored to be their guest at their wedding. So let me explain to you guys these 9 days of the Philippines, okay? So listen, peep game. It was me and my boy Brandon. We flew to the Philippines. But when I say we flew to the Philippines, I mean like we flew like 21 hours. Let me say this again. 21 hours to fly to the Philippines. Listen, Jem, just know I love you, girl. I love you. Because I can't even do a 6-hour flight to LA. So let alone 21 hours in economy. Listen, I have to say, like, I don't know how to even like get into it. But when I did go to, we was flying from LaGuardia, and it was a red eye. So obviously, like, the red eye, as soon as you get there, I was like, okay, how am I about to be in economy? I don't know where I'm gonna be at. I don't know how it's gonna be. First, I got a window seat. Clock it. Like, I never thought like to myself, I was like, oh, I got lucky. Because I was not about to pay for an extra seat. That's number one. But when we got there, they gave me a blanket. I had a pillow. They gave me some, like some slippers. I said to myself, this is economy? So y'all paying these prices for first class, but I'm still being treated like a king in economy. Shout out to economy. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? So basically, we had to fly 17 hours to South Korea, and then the rest of the time from South Korea to Manila. So we landed in Manila, and when I tell you we got the ground running, we got the ground running. When we got there, I literally was in like the trenches of the Manila. I said trenches. I was in the trenches of the Philippines, guys, and I enjoyed it so much. It was so much fun to just, be immersed with the culture and the people, like walking with the people and like just seeing like the vendors and just literally, again, like being with the people. And I really enjoyed it so much. Manila was fun. I can't hold you. But the party really got started when we got to Boracay Islands. Let me tell you, I had the time of my life. So again, shout out to Jim and Calvin. Their wedding party was about 75 of us with friends and family. And I have to say, it was one of the best weddings I ever been to. I really enjoyed myself. It was such a fun time, guys. But let me explain to you when we got to Boracay Islands. Let me explain it. Let me break it down to you guys. So once we landed in Boracay, it was such an amazing transition from being in Manila to be on the streets and walking around to now being on a beach. And, I just really enjoyed like the culture of just like their island. I think it was so beautiful, like there's sunsets and there's like dogs and chickens everywhere, even though I don't fuck with birds, but it was still beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I just thought that, just to be in the island vibe and to really see like everyone coming together to celebrate like Jem and Calvin's union was such an amazing time, So the day before the wedding, they had a karaoke party. Now, if you watch this podcast, your boy loves karaoke. So, of course, I was the first one to go. Of course, I sung Love on Top by Beyonce. Like, come on. After a while, I emceed too. They didn't ask me, but I just did it anyway. But again, I enjoyed so much of like that time of just like being immersed with all of their friends and family and having a good time. I feel like this is what weddings needs to do more often. The day before, get your wedding party together, and that's how you get to know people, So I want to say shout out to them. And also the Lynn Boracay Hotel was such an amazing time. That's where they had their wedding at the next day. Literally, you're seeing the sunset. You're seeing like an infinity pool. You just like you're seeing a fire show. It's so much, guys. Like I said, this is literally one of the best weddings I've ever been to. So really, again, shout out to you guys. I'm so happy again to be part of your special day. It was a fun time. After Boracay, we went to BGC for one day. Now, let me tell you, if Beverly Hills and Las Vegas had a baby. This is BGC. Like, it's malls everywhere. You're walking around, and I'm walking around all these malls, and I'm just like, wow, it's like 7 floors of malls, guys. I'm just like, for me, I'm just like, this is too rich for me. But apparently, I'm the rich one there. It's like, again, this is the Philippines. Like, we had a nice Airbnb we stayed at, and it was a 2 bedroom Airbnb. Now imagine you're staying on like the, like 36th floor, and you look over Manila. I'm gonna show you guys a clip. Look at this clip.
So this is the last spot. Say hi.
Yo.
We're up on the 37th floor of this condo apartment type place. Guess I don't know how to open doors. I forgot about you. Oh, it's a sliding now. Okay.
Sometimes you need access.
There we go. Thanks. Yeah. So see everything in the city right now. We're in BGC, Manila. There's a park over there. The shore, port over there. It's real nice. I can't remember. I don't think we were staying over there last time, but somewhere. Let's go to Ivory's room first. It's the secondary room. Nice and calm, giant mirror. Right. And then we got his bathroom. And then, I didn't show you guys the kitchen. The kitchen's over here, has like its own room. It's cool, it's calm. Yeah. They have like multiple rice cookers because they love rice out here. What? This is the master suite. This is where I'm gonna be staying. Also have a giant mirror with a giant TV and a giant window, giant bed, giant closet. Everything you see here is just closet space, and then plenty of it. And then this is the bathroom here with a really big just walk-in shower.
Now with views like that and a 2-bedroom, you would think that goes for like maybe like what, $5,600, in America or more. No, in the Philippines, in USD dollars, that was $1,400. $1,400. Eric, $1,400. I'm telling you, no, for a 2-bedroom. I'm telling you. What? Like, when I tell you guys, I was living the best life. I was really contemplating on coming back to America because I didn't want to come back. I'm being real with you. Like, that's one thing too about vacation. It's like when you're on vacation, you just don't want to come back. I did not want to come back at all. But you know what? Reality sets back in, and you gotta go back. So I did. But again, thank you guys so much for inviting me to your wedding. I had so much fun. And again, here is a clip of our trip. Take a look.
My life is a blessing. I'm living proof. My life is a blessing. Here's my truth. Everything in my life is a gift. I'm uplifted. I'm grateful for this life. I'm living. My life is a blessing. I'm giving thanks for every single day. My life is a blessing. Always a blessing. Always. Everything becomes better. My perspective shifts, my energy lifts, my gratitude.
All right. So for my next update, I'm going to have my producer Eric come in, and this topic is not an easy topic to kind of just sit in front of the camera with. So I'm going to have Eric help me out with this one and answer some questions with me. So say hello, Eric.
All right, guys. I'm thankful to be here. I'm thankful to be with Ivory as we have this conversation. And let's get into it. So, Ivory, you just celebrated 1 year of sobriety. Very, very amazing accomplishment. Can you tell me what the last year has been like for you in that?
Honestly, Eric, it's been the best year of my life. And I think that when I first started this, I remember I kept saying to myself that when I wanted to live my life and when I wanted to see more of myself in this life, I never really thought to myself, like, I never really thought that I was going to ever really like be here because again, I'm so used to like disappearing in alcohol so much. And I just didn't really know what a life without alcohol was going to be. I think I was just like so like busy like chasing like that euphoria of like trying to like because it was making me happy. That's the best thing I could say. Alcohol was like making me like run away from my problems. So to finally sit down and like look at myself and to realize like, I'm a light, and I never really knew that more until like as time started going, as I started becoming more clear of who I am and what I wanted. So it was hard, I have to say.
What would you say is the thing you most look forward to as you got through each, checkpoint, each month by month? What was the thing you were most looking forward to next?
That I did it. I think that was like, like sometimes I remember when I hit 3 months, I was like, wow, like I hit 3 months. That's so cool. And then I had like more of a drive to want to work out. I had more of a drive to want to do my podcast. And then 6 months come, I'm just like, damn it, half a year. Like, like mentally, like I'm okay. Like, I'm starting to see a difference in my figure. I'm starting to see a difference in my bank account. I'm starting to see a difference in just like who I am, my moods and stuff like that. 9 months. I remember I was like, damn, I hit pregnancy. Like at that point, I was like, okay, like I'm liking this feeling too. Like I'm feeling like I'm moving forward with life and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And then again, like once I hit 11 months, I remember saying to myself, like, damn, like maybe like I know this is like a year challenge, but I didn't know if I wanted to go back, So it was hard, but I have to be honest still, like, one, no slip ups throughout the whole year. But to sit like in that silence, to sit in like, damn, like why am I so like I didn't realize like how sad I truly was, to be honest with you. I didn't realize like how much I didn't put myself first. I didn't realize how much I didn't know how much I didn't care about myself. I think that was like me like chasing like the high and being in another world, but really like ignoring like the problems that I was really going through, And it's hard, like to do this and sit here and to talk about yourself. It's not easy, And that's why I created this podcast really was to like have these hard conversations, It's not easy. Like I'm so used to like having conversations with people and understanding their life, but like when it's like you, like stuff like this, it's really intimidating, And it was hard. It was a hard time, and I think that I had to realize like how amazing I am because sometimes it's like you don't really know, you know. I don't know like what you go through or anything like that, but it's like for me at the same time, I just felt like I just really ignored myself for a long time, and to finally find out like damn, like I love this version. I love who I am, man. Like it made it a lot better. So I have to say, like in the middle of like the Philippines trip, I hit my 1 year. And when I hit that 1 year, it was so funny. I remember it was like a half an hour before. So it was like Philippines is like 13 hours ahead. So I had an alarm set for 8 p.m. at that time, which was gonna be 9 a.m. for that time. So before my time, I kind of separated myself a little bit. I was sitting to myself and I remember just like kind of like looking at the countdown. It's like, oh my goodness, it's about to hit that year. It's like literally like New Year's, right? But I didn't realize I was gonna get that emotional at that moment. I think that I was so like nonchalant, like I'm in my year, like whatever. Like, I'm going to Philippines to celebrate my friend's wedding. I'm going to the Philippines to celebrate like wedding, birthday, and now sobriety, like at that moment. And I really sat and I really said, damn, like you really did that. It was such a surreal moment. And then I remember 10 minutes before I hit it, I did my karaoke song Flowers. My favorite song is Flowers by Miley Cyrus, guys. And I said that thousands of times on this podcast. But it reigns true. I can buy myself flowers, write my name in the sand, talk to myself for hours, say things that no one can understand. Those are like the lyrics I live by. And I remember singing it right before I hit my actual time, and it made me realize, like, damn, like, this is my flower moment. You did that, you know? And yeah, it's hard, guys. It's like talk about this a little bit on camera. But I'll say though, to transition into the out after that, I did say to myself, um, what would it be like if I tried it, like if I did consume alcohol, what would that be like? And I think that was a conversation that I was having with a lot with myself, because I kept saying to myself, I didn't know slip up, I didn't know this and that, but it's like I'm in a better place. But what would it be like if I ever was to like try it again, right? So that was like a scary part, because I felt like I didn't want to feel like I'm like letting people down, or I'm, going back to my old ways, anything like that. So the last couple of days of the trip, I did endure into some drinks on the trip. At the end of the trip, I'll let you know. And I have to say, overrated. Very overrated. And it was different. I would say, like, to be like tipsy drunk a little bit for the last couple of days. But since then, I'm good with what I'm doing right now. I'm sticking to my path, and if I was to endure some drinks for weddings or parties or vacation, I wouldn't mind doing that for fun, but I think it's a lot better with where I'm at right now. All right. Thank you, Eric, again, for assisting me with that last part. I appreciate it, man. All right, guys, that is basically my first quarter of 2026. I know 2026 just started, but like I said, to be able to celebrate another birthday, to be able to say to travel to another country, and to be able to say that I did at least 1 year of no alcohol, I have to say that it's been so far a good 2026 thus far. And again, this is, like, podcasting is not easy, guys. To do this and put myself out there like this, it's never easy, but I'm grateful that at least I have someone watching that relates to me, and I'm helping you, you're helping me, and I wanted to say thank you guys again so much. And I'm excited for you guys to see the last 6 episodes of the podcast before we end season 2. We have a lot great more guests coming, and I'm excited for you guys to hear their stories and the conversations to come. And again, thank you guys for supporting me. This is not easy to do, and every time you guys tune in and you relate to what I'm saying, it makes me feel a lot less alone, I have to say. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in, subscribing, and listening. And yeah, there's more to come, guys. So again, please subscribe and listen to what I have going on. Thank you guys again, and I'll see you on the next episode of Getting On a Podcast.